Well, hello, Americans. This is George Benavides, and I'm making this video just to explain the process and procedures of being implanted, tracked, and tortured. And I want you to just analyze this pretty carefully because this is a matter of medical and legal treatment of what the government is doing and what they have done. Back in 1994, without my consent or without a issued federal court order or probable cause, the United States Navy illegally implanted me with a device used to broadcast my life to society and to the public in which they'd have no concern. They should have no concern. In 1998, when I was honorably discharged, the United States Navy had a legal duty to remove all federal government property from me back in 1998. They failed to do that, and this is where we're at. They had no consent. They had no probable cause to eavesdrop, wiretap, implant my life. So, since that time, there's been a lot of legal actions. I've been trying to stop this a long time ago. I tried to stop this experiment or this implant back in 2000 when I filed a lawsuit against the Navy and the VA asking the judge to review this case and to stop all experiments on me. But the judge threw it out, didn't want to hear it. And then I went to Congress, two congressional congressmen, Congressman Henry B. Gonzalez and Congressman Will Hurd. Those two gentlemen were barred by the government from stopping this program because they wanted to track more people and implant more people so that way they can create more jobs. And the way they create jobs is if they implant you and can read your mind, they've created more jobs, pork barrel jobs. But it's illegal. It's illegal to implant anybody without their consent. And what's going on now is they're trying to microchip everybody so they can keep track of you, and make it legal. And it's not right. We should ban all this stuff because it's unethical. It's against the Constitution, against your privacy, against your rights. I mean, think about this. If I could read your mind, I can beat you to your restaurants. I can beat you to your destination and where you're going. I can beat you at your game by altering your food, or altering your destination travel of where you're going, create a disaster for you, kill you. So it's not fair to be implanted, tracked, and broadcast in your mind because you're giving everything away. Or the worst thing is this. If I can read your mind and you're broadcasting that to society and the government, I can understand your codes, your bank accounts, where you bank, when you leave your house, when you come back to your house. I mean, what your garage codes are, how much money you're carrying, where you're going. I mean, it's not fair to be implanted and broadcast in your mind. My theory is this. If a doctor doesn't want to be implanted, broadcasting his patient's rights. If a police officer can't do his job as an undercover detective, broadcasting his job and duties as a police officer. If a lawyer can't keep the confidentiality of a client, what good is an implant? And those are the jobs that I did that they're no good. I was a pharmacy technician, medical assistant, and I can't work in that field because I'm broadcasting the privacy and the treatment care of a patient. It's against the HIPAA laws. I work for an attorney, the same thing with an attorney. If you can't keep a client's privacy, what good are you? So see, broadcasting your life to society, to the government is no good. I don't care what the hell they're trying to make out of this, but it's no good and you need to ban all that. You don't want that to happen to you. It's not fair, it's unconstitutional, and it's just inhumane. Now, my theory is this. Because I blew the whistle on the government a long time ago, and I tried to stop this program, I am now being tortured. And the way they manipulate my mind is this. If I don't think of something that they can investigate, like a name of a high school student I went to, or a friend or family or foe or something like that, they get angry. And the way they get angry is they manipulate me by attacking me with their satellite weapons, direct energy weapons, or torturing me. Coercing me, and I must say coercion because it's a big definition. If you open up Black's Law Dictionary and look up coercion, it explains to you what coercion is. It coerces you to do something you don't want to do. And in Texas, it's against the law to coerce somebody to a mental institution. It's a crime. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get me to do something to confine me. It's not fair. It's unconstitutional. It's criminal. But that's what the program is designed to do. It's designed to cause you, to coerce you to do something that you don't want to do. So, with that in mind, this medical and law journal is just a couple of cases and laws and statutes that go with satellite weapons and implants and tracking. Tracking is not good because you're tracking your mind to society. You don't want everybody thinking of what you're doing or where you're going or who you're seeing, who you're talking to, or what's going on in your life. It's none of their business. You don't want them to know that. But the government, the federal government is trying to create programs for this. It's unconstitutional. Ban it. It's no good. So since 1994 to this present time, I have tried many times to stop this program and it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I've been falsely imprisoned because the way you create false imprisonment is this. They've implanted you, right, against your will. No court order or probable cause. They've implanted you, and then mentally detaining you is being detained. You're mentally detained by their implant, which causes false imprisonment. You don't want to be tracked and implanted. You don't want to be detained by this implant device that they got. It's false imprisonment. They violated my civil rights by doing this without my consent. I was over the age of 18 when I was in the military. I was able to make my own decisions. They don't have to ask anybody else. You ask me before you implant me or track me with a device. They didn't do that. They failed to do that. The next thing is that they violated my civil rights. You don't implant somebody without their consent and then have them broadcast this to society. That's a violation of civil rights and liberties. And then the dentist itself, when he implanted that device inside of me, he illegally touched me without my consent. He implanted that thing inside of me. That's assault and battery. You don't do that. You didn't have my consent. You didn't have a court order. You didn't have probable cause. That's assault and battery. That's a crime. You don't do that. So, with all this information in here, it's just terrible how the government will not shut this program down. They are trying to create more jobs and more implants so they can create more jobs. Jobs that we don't need. We have broken streets. We have sinkholes. We have other damages that our country needs to repair. We don't need this. We owe Russia and China. We have debts. But they create miserable times for you. They torture you enough to go to the doctor in the hospital. You go to the doctor in the hospital, the doctor says you're fine, or he takes an organ, or he wrongfully diagnoses you. So, a couple of things to look at. Be precaution about what you're doing in life. Always get second opinions about medical opinions. And if you feel you're implanted, immediately seek an MRI or CT scan or an X-ray to get that implant removed, and then fly out of town, hire an attorney and investigator, and then file a lawsuit. I can't do this right now because they are torturing me. They are torturing me, coercing me to do something stupid. They tamper with me every day, 7 days a week. They attack every orifice's organ, every implant of my, every orifice's organ, every part of my body, to get me to manipulate my mind or coerce me to do something. And warning to all your TIs: do not videotape what you're complaining about, what your pain is on YouTube. The NSA is hunting down people looking for medical evidence or medical expertise so they can use that against you. Don't videotape yourself. Oh, they got attacking my head or my eyes or my nose, because they're going to use that against you. All you have to say is that you're being tortured and targeted as a diary evidence, because the NSA is looking for that. They're looking for a way to attack you and kill you. And if you're not diagnosed by a doctor, they're going to get you. Okay? So, two things we need to outlaw. We need to ban implants. They're no good. We're not cattle. We're not animals. And secondly, outlaw or ban the Space Preservation Act of 2001. Ban all space weapons used against Americans. If Dennis Kucinich can do that back in 2001, Americans can adopt that law, revise that law, and pass the law. The city of Richmond, California did. Why can't Americans? Why can't America? Thank you.